Waking up from the gay matrix. All right, let's get right into it. So print out your journal, grab your favorite beverage, and let's do the work. All right, so getting straight into it. The gay community has created its own matrix, a way of being, acting, and presenting yourself to win. What was once a space for love and individuality has become a ladder to climb, a game of performance. But many of us are waking up because the pain and discomfort are no longer easy to ignore. What once felt like home now feels foreign. So I'm happy to be back on YouTube, first of all. This is a couple of videos in. But all that to say, during my time of not being on YouTube, I've gotten all of your comments and I've been sifting through them, and I'm realizing a lot of us are waking up to, this is not where we want to be. This does not feel like home. It's almost like, is this what being gay is supposed to be? These are important questions, and I'm glad that we are all starting to ask these questions, including myself, because I'm kind of like at a place where I'm like, I miss going out to the bars and the clubs. I know a lot of other people, especially like, even like the straight communities, are saying like, club culture is different, like the bars are different, whatever. And I'm just like, what is going on? And I think a lot of us are just waking up to, we want more. There's like almost like this game going on, which is why I like to say matrix. So let's get into it. Specifically, what is the gay matrix? So to me, again, let me know. I want you all to join the conversation. I start every conversation right after each video. So you are more than welcome to start talking about different topics, because every time I have a topic idea, I post on my website, realgaylife.com. You are more than welcome to start conversations with each other, but I specifically like to go one at a time so I don't overwhelm myself. But right after each video, I am live and online and ready to talk to you all. So let's get straight into it. The gay matrix is a system many of us unconsciously agree to, a game of performance, desirability, and conforming. It shapes how we dress, date, speak, and even think, all in pursuit of validation from a culture that claims to celebrate freedom, but often rewards sameness. So I got this from a lot of the quotes and comments that you all have left. So here are three. Feel free to pause it and read these. I use these consistently and constantly because these ones really hit the nail on the head. Like, these are where it's very specific. A lot of you are pretty vague about what you are feeling and what's going on, but these ones I keep coming back to because I feel like this is kind of like the representation of our community that we are building on this YouTube page that I'm trying to build on my website. This represents a subsection of the gay community that once was celebrated, in my opinion, or felt safe, but maybe not. Again, let me know. Maybe I've been living in my own world, my own utopia. So moving forward, I did create some attributes to make it a little bit easier of the gay matrix. So youth equals value, whiteness equals desirability, masculinity equals safety and status, muscles equal currency, hookups equal connection, individuality equals risk, and then lastly, emotional vulnerability equals weakness. The gay matrix is an unspoken rule book built around looks, status, sexual capital, and conformity. It's a system that says if you're young, fit, white, masculine, and non-threatening, you win. But if you don't fit the mode, you're either invisible or disposable. So I more so pulled this all together again from you all's comments. Obviously, I personally have broken out of this. I do not believe these things, and that's what I'm trying to help you all to do the same, which is why I call it a matrix, because I almost feel like it's a mental game that you have to break out of. I do not believe these things. I do not believe you have to be young. I do not believe you have to be fit. I do not believe you have to be white. I do not believe you have to be masculine. I do not believe you have to be non-threatening to win. First of all, there is no winning. This isn't even a game in my head. This is your life. How do you see yourself winning? What do you want? What out of this life? That is winning. That is success. I think sometimes we get so caught up in social media and what is being broadcast and celebrated and pushed through these algorithms that we have no control over. And actually, it's funny because we do have control over them. So actually, I want to backpedal. Maybe it's your algorithm that is pushing this to you. But again, talk to me. I want to know, where are you all getting this from? Because for me, I was taught to love myself. I was taught to walk confidently. I was taught that there was nothing the matter with me. And that's how I live my life. And I think that's why I threaten a lot of these spaces. It's like I'm a glitch in the matrix, in the gay matrix, because I don't give a fuck. I'm black. I mean, I was skinny at one point. Now I have muscles, but it's more so me adapting a healthier lifestyle. I have a mixture between masculine and feminine. Like, you would consider me a butch queen. I can be threatening, but I more so say confrontational. Like with both of my partners, which what you all know, both of them are white. And yeah, I come into those spaces and I get a lot of stuff. I get a lot of shit from their friends saying I'm aggressive, I'm mean, I am confrontational, and then they start labeling me abusive and things like that. But I speak up, I speak my mind, I speak my truth. Closed mouths do not get fed. That is how I was raised, and that's what I bring to the table. So when I started to create videos and I started to sift through the comments and see that you all were struggling with, you know, I'm not young, fit, white, masculine, and non-threatening, so I'm invisible or disposable. I'm like, wait a minute, no, absolutely not true. I'm here to encourage you to show up as you are authentically. And these spaces, again, and I created a video about this, may not be where you need to be. But that does not mean that there is something the matter with you, something wrong with you. We need to wake up from the matrix. So just to dig a little bit deeper, I want you to take some time and ponder these thoughts. There is space below for those of you that downloaded the journal. And then for the rest of you, I hope y'all be using a notebook and a pen and paper when you're watching these videos with me, because this is the work. This is how you up level. This is how you get to the next place in your life. This is how you break out of the matrix, by doing your own work silently with yourself and thinking with your brain these questions. When did you first realize that being desirable seemed more important than being yourself? What unspoken rules have you followed to be accepted in the gay community? Do you equate being wanted with being valued? What happens when you're not wanted? Who benefits from the hierarchy we keep participating in? That is a really good one. And then lastly, what part of you have you hidden because you thought it would make you less attractive? Me personally, it was the femininity. Not even just less attractive, it was a protection mechanism. You know, growing up, I was taught to not be soft, not be gay. You're acting gay, you're being soft. Like, I would be in the kitchen baking cupcakes with my grandmother. And my uncle would come in and be like, oh, you making him soft, you making him gay. And you know, all this negative rhetoric, which I later absorbed as being feminine is bad, being soft is bad, being gay is bad. Like, those aren't good things. And I think some of us carried that trauma into the community, and then we created this fucking matrix where now we're policing each other and saying, you can't be feminine, you gotta be masculine, where are your muscles at? And then we praise them. Y'all praise them. You know how you praise them? With your time, with your energy, and with your money. You care too much about the white, fit, young, masculine, non-threatening guys in the community. You put them on a pedestal. You know how you stop putting them on a pedestal? You remove your energy, your focus, your attention, and your money from them. Stop paying attention to them. Pay attention to the people that you like, the people that you care about. Pay attention to yourself. Pay attention to people that pour into you, nurture you. Pay attention to content creators like me who are motivating you to be better, not them. Get them off your fucking algorithm. Now, moving forward, don't y'all like how I can go from back and forth? Like, see, that's how I was raised. My mom would talk to me like that and get me together and then just go back as if nothing ever happened. All right, so moving forward. The first step to waking up is questioning. What are you doing? Why are you doing what you're doing? Who are you trying to impress? So for me, this is something that I like to do specifically, or ask myself specifically, and that is, when you're not drunk, not high, when you're not caught up in the scene, can you sit with yourself and feel at peace? And I personally, even thinking about right now, it's Pride in Chicago right now, and today is Saturday. And I'm a little anxious about debating if I'm gonna go out or not, because I haven't been drinking for the past couple of days, and the last time I was drinking, me and one of my partners got into it really bad, and it's because there's something about the energy in some of these bars and clubs. And I say that specifically because I think it is like a fetish for some of y'all in the community to break up happy relationships or happy homes. And I get that feeling when it's like, and then you gotta remember, we're interracial too, so sometimes when we are interacting with people, they will act like as if I'm not even there. Or vice versa, they'll act like my partner's not even there. And I'm like, I don't like that feeling. Remember, my intention is to bring love and empathy to the community, not self-sacrificing myself to do that. But with my extra, remember, I always use the analogy, you have a cup. What's in the cup is for you. What's coming out of the cup is extra for other people. Got that from Ian Van Zandt, a really amazing person. All that to say, going there sober, which is right now, I'm kind of like on this journey of like, I don't want to drink. I want to be aware, mentally clear of what the fuck is going on and what am I choosing? Because I too can get sucked back into this gay matrix. I too can be in the gay matrix, and I'm trying to break out of that and trying to feel in my body, does this feel like home? Are these my people? Those are the questions we have to start asking ourselves. And instead of complaining, being upset, having rage, and I'm talking about myself, I'm not talking about y'all. I would complain to my partners. I would have rage. I would be cussing people out. I would be getting mad. I'll be checking their friends, checking their family, checking their parents. You know, all these things. And it's like, but dude, look in the mirror. You have the power. You have the choice. You are walking into these spaces. If you don't want to be there because your nervous system is all over the fucking place and everybody seems like they are dismissing you, they treat you like you're disposable, like you're just a body. You're only worthy if you're desirable, if your face card don't decline, if your body is fucking tea. Is this where you want to be? Or do you want to go somewhere that sees you, the real you, the you behind all of this? Your essence, your personality, the way you laugh, the way you speak, your thoughts, your mind. That's on us, y'all. That is on us. So, I want us to start taking a couple steps back and checking in with our bodies when we go into these spaces. And be honest, is this the game you want to keep playing? Is this the reality you want to keep feeding? Or is there a life outside the matrix that feels more like home? And you know I'm a big person when it comes to energy, especially as of recent. I've been reclaiming my energy, my energy back. Like, I love my partners to death, but I poured so much into both of these relationships, and I started getting resentful and angry and mad and things like that, which is natural. And recently I'm just like, you know what? I'm done. I gotta pour into myself a little bit. I wanna pour into my goals, my hobbies, my aspirations. YouTube, for example. I mean, I created a whole fucking website for us, and I would have never been able to do that if I was too busy being my partner's boyfriends. I wanted my space, I wanted my individuality, and I had to pull my energy back and put it back into myself. Were they upset? One of them, yes. And I'm actively arguing with them right now, and I don't know if we're gonna be able to make it, but that is the reality. You are always choosing. This is your life. This is your reality. You want to play the gay matrix game? You want to play the I'm just his boyfriend game? You get to choose. And right now, that's not what I'm choosing. And you are going to piss some people off. But that is okay if it means peace, happiness, freedom, and joy for you. Because you know what? You should not have to sacrifice yourself, or it shouldn't cost you, yourself, your individuality, your being, just to show up in places. You should be able to show up in these places and be happy, full of joy. I just don't understand why we keep doing the same things that we've been doing and expecting a different result. We want connection, we want love, we want community, we want to be celebrated, we want to be seen, we don't want to be felt, we don't want to feel disposable. You have to start being around those people. You have to stop being in those spaces and around the people that make you feel that way. All right, moving on. I kind of wanted to also summarize some of the things that I have noticed in the comments that we complain about but still tolerate. So I want you to look at this list and think about all the things that apply to you. Is it racism on the dating apps? Is it body shaming and unrealistic beauty standards? Is it rejection rooted in colorism, fat phobia, ageism, and femininity? Is it the emotional availability? Is it social circles not built on connection? Loneliness despite being surrounded by people, cliques that reward sameness and punish individuality, ghosting, breadcrumbing, and treating others as disposable, glamorizing the party scene but privately feeling empty, pretending not to care when we deeply want love. So yeah, take a second and read all of these to yourself and mark the ones that resonate with you. And let's just be honest about what do we keep complaining about and what do we keep tolerating, because this is the guidepost for us to shift somewhere else. You know, knowing what you don't want and don't like are good things. Now, if you stay stuck there, my personal opinion, which again, talk to me in the conversation, or join me in the conversation. In my opinion, that's not good. You can stay stuck for a while, but you gotta keep moving forward. This is the cost. This is what it's costing you to keep playing the game. Your peace, your self-worth, your sense of belonging. If you want something different, it's time to wake up and step into a new reality. And that's why I call it a matrix. Many of us are sick and tired of being sick and tired. We didn't come out just to perform. We didn't survive all this shame just to build a new closet. We want more because this is not the vision we had when we finally found the courage to show up as ourselves. And I like to think about that often, where I'm just like, I don't want to say bust my ass, but I didn't sit in the closet just to get out of the closet and be in a whole nother closet in the community where I'm hiding parts of myself, where I'm hiding my sassiness, where I'm hiding my ratchet ghetto side, where I'm hiding my femininity, where I'm hiding all the things that aren't necessarily celebrated in the community. Like, I came out so I could come out and be me authentically. I am able and allowed to take up space, and so are you. Moving forward, section 2, you're missing courage. So instead, use your pain, sadness, rage, and frustration. So I want you to first ask yourself, what am I afraid will happen if I stop playing the game? What do I think I'll lose? Excuse me, I just shaved my beard, or whatever you want to call this, and a little bit of hair is on my lip. Oh my God. See, now I got to reapply my comments. Okay, I'm back. What do I think I'll lose if I choose authenticity over acceptance? Why do I stay in spaces that make me feel small, unseen, or not enough? What parts of me have I silenced just to be included? What am I craving that the Matrix keeps promising but never delivers? So to me, what I've noticed is that we are craving deeper connections, to be fully seen, for who we are. I feel like those are the top two things that we are looking for and that I have noticed within the comment section. And I mean, I don't think that the gay matrix necessarily promises that. I think we all allude to being inclusive and diverse, and I think it's just because of the fucking rainbow. And I'm honestly curious to know what you all think about this. So again, join the conversation, talk to me. What do you think the gay community promises but doesn't deliver? Because to me, I think a lot of us are wanting authenticity, to show up authentically, and then deeper connections. And I'm kind of at a point where I don't even think the community promises that. I think we've gotten to a place where we all are very segregated. I remember watching this guy, it's someone that actually lives in, I don't know if he lives in Chicago or he was visiting, but he was out and he was just like, boys kind of segregated. And I'm like, yeah, it sure is. I mean, I go in between the different bars, but I definitely can feel the separation and the segregation. And I mean, I don't want to dig into that into this video, but our community, I feel like, started off saying inclusivity and diversity, and on the surface, it's supposed to be like that, but in reality, it isn't like that. But again, I want to hear what you all think about that. Moving forward, if you don't have the courage yet, use your pain. Use your sadness, rage, and frustration instead of sitting in it like a victim or letting it convince you that you're stuck. Let it push you. If this isn't the life you envision, if this version of community isn't feeding you, then use that energy, the energy of those emotions, to do something different. Because different is possible, but it starts with a decision. So for those of you that are kind of still questioning or still need that push to be like, am I surviving or am I actually thriving in this community? Like, I feel like sometimes taking an assessment, for me personally, to kind of see where I'm at, engage where I'm at, helps. So I created a quick assessment. It's on the website. I will link it down below. Title, am I thriving here or just surviving? This assessment is specifically for gay men who are questioning whether the spaces they're in truly allow them to show up as they are. If you've ever felt like you had to dim your light, downplay your softness, or perform to be accepted, this is for you. There are 3 sections. The first one is about self-expression, inspired by Brene Brown's book, Braving the Wilderness. That is like one of my favorite ones. Emotional safety and care, which is inspired by All About Love by Bell Hooks, and then eminent strategy, which is about, growth and alignment. And I do not want to butcher their name, but is that Adrian? Nope. See, I'm not even gonna butcher it. But for those of you that need a little bit more clarity and a little bit more of a push to kind of gauge where you are at, take that assessment. Moving forward, many of us are starting to lose hope. We've forgotten the dreams we once had. We've settled, not because we wanted to, but because we're tired. Tired of trying, tired of being hurt, tired of chasing something that never seems to love us back. But I still believe that holding an abundant mindset, even in the midst of pain, is the way forward. I believe everything you want is possible, but you have to choose it. So let's compare 2 paths. Which one feels which one feels like truth and which one feels like home. So I want to do a little bit of a comparison between staying in a matrix and stepping into the unknown. So you guys can read through this. I'm just gonna read the first 4 for each. So staying in the matrix, you keep playing a role to feel worthy. Validation comes in quick hits but never stays. You feel surrounded but deeply alone. And then your self-worth is tied to your desirability. And then stepping into the unknown, you stop performing and start belonging to yourself. You reclaim your time, your energy, your voice. Whew. That feels so good, y'all. I'm just saying that right now because reclaiming my time, my energy, and my voice is something I am, I stopped doing it. I just need a second to vet. Y'all mind? I stopped doing that. For those of you that are in relationships, I need you to talk to me to make me feel like I'm not alone, but maybe I am alone. Sometimes you lose yourself in relationships. It's just the reality of it. You pour, and you sacrifice, and you lose yourself. And one of my partners, again, is not having a good time with this, but I'm reclaiming my time, my energy, and my voice. I cannot be everything you need me to be. I can only be me. And if you still choose to be with me after that, I would be ecstatic. But if not, maybe the chapter 2, or maybe the book to our lives together is closing, and that is okay. I will remember the love that we had, but when you lose your time, because I value my time, and you feel your energy being drained and your voice, talk to me. Let me know if y'all feel that pain too, but that something about that just is abnormal to me. And maybe that's just because I'm someone that thrives on loving myself, which we all should, at least I like to think so. But yeah, talk to me if any of you have felt that, because that's something that I'm like reclaiming my time and energy and my voice. Yes. Moving forward, your peace stops depending on who's texting you back. You find new kinds of love, softer, deeper, more real. So which one resonates with you? And just to be clear, I'm on this journey too. there are still habits, people, places, even parts of myself that pull me back into the matrix. So I'm not here to dismiss how uncomfortable this process can be. It's not easy to walk away from familiar patterns, even when they hurt. But my intention is to help you see the light again, to remember that the tunnel isn't forever, and that the discomfort you're feeling might not be a sign to quit, but a signal that you're getting closer. So let's talk about the discomfort and the things that get in the way of your becoming. So what gets in the way? This is some of the stuff that I'd experienced. And if these things are happening in your life, it might be because you are starting to up level. You are starting to exit the gay matrix. Again, I'm gonna read the first 4. You guys can dig in a little bit deeper for the remainder of them. People getting upset when you start choosing yourself. Friends pulling away when you stop performing for their comfort. Being judged or ostracized for speaking your truth. Relationships ending, even ones you thought would last forever. So, to conclude, you have to remember remember the life you want. Stand firm, don't give up on yourself, and most importantly, remember who you are. You are an infinite being, you have free will. You have the power to create the life you see in your mind, the one that actually feels good in your body. And that life, it no longer includes being a part of the gay matrix. You are here for more. All right, I hope that was helpful. I hope that was inspirational. Again, my intention is to bring love and empathy into the gay community. Hopefully you felt that. If you did, I don't know, leave a comment, smash the like button, join the conversation, give me some feedback so I know that I am impacting somebody and I can be motivated to keep going. I am so excited to connect with you all in the conversation after this video, so please join me. And to conclude, remember to be the change you wish to see. Take care.